Well, it's happening. I'm done with JToH. Now you guys have known this for a bit, but I want to make a video because one community post cannot explain the amount of issues I have with this game. I mean seriously, what has happened to JToH recently? But before I bitch for 2 days straight, I just want to thank you all genuinely for all the endless support I've received. Like seriously, the fact that Worst Towers in JToH is almost at 20k views is incomprehensible. I also want to apologize to people who only subscribe for JToH. I wish I could stick around for longer, but it's pretty much impossible to genuinely be interested in this game any longer. So thank you all. But other than that, let's start. Back to a rant, I have no clue how to even write this shit. How about we start with ROBLOX. It sucks ass. I thought ROBLOX in 2016 to 2017 was bad when they started making all those weird corporate decisions, like ruining the filter for no reason, but they truly have met rock bottom. The ROBLOX platform is now dominated by heavily monetized, hyper-stimulating garbage that often isn't even original, made for the lowest common denominator. Look at this game, Soul's RNG, you literally sit here doing nothing, looking at words appear on your screen. That's it, there's nothing else to it. Clearly I am not the demographic anymore, and besides a few games, Roblox is complete asinine. Anyways, where I'm going with this is I thought JToH was a part of that small list of good games on Roblox. Until around 2 or 3 years ago when the developers just snapped and made their game awful. After a crazy good run, ignoring Paradise Atoll, the JToH team just gave up. Zone 6 was a disaster where 90% of the towers just used the exact same gimmick, these jump pad thingies, and for some reason they all got in. If 1 or 2 of them got in, whatever, but there were multiple that they use it as a major gimmick, and usually in the exact same way as the last. Like, it's not even that cool, you just jump higher. Zone 7 didn't fix this either. Sure, towers were more unique, but you had an on-soft crap that you could tell was playtested correctly at all. It's so obvious that the curators abused the shit out of NoClip for towers like Uncanny Agony, Swift and Precise sections, and White Space, and really gave an idea of how much the JToH team actually cares about enjoyable gameplay instead of favoring creativity. Creativity in quotations because it's not even creative, considering the towers are all structured and paced the same way. They just used different mechanics, and Zone 8 was just a husk of a good area. A lot of the towers there lacked any interesting qualities. The ones that actually did catch my attention were too bogged down by garbage gameplay for me to get any enjoyment, and I could barely finish any towers in the zone without being bored and frustrated and leaving halfway through. And now, 2024, which is the worst year for JToH yet. The Christmas event didn't even release on Christmas, in fact it released on February, not even finished, with the presents releasing in August. I wish I was joking. Also, Zone 9 seems like it's not even going to be released in August or even September. Like, holy shit, 2024 has just been the year of the fall off. Also, when Zone 9 finally comes out, I highly doubt I'll even enjoy it. Ideal gameplay to impress a JToH curator nowadays is unsatisfying, all design looks the same, puzzles just ruin pacing, there's barely any punishment, the optimization is the worst thing on planet Earth. If you can't tell, I don't really like modern JToH all that much. So what happened? Why does this game suck now? Well, ask them. Guys, what happened to the JToH staff team? They see problems that plague their game and they're like, yeah, let's add new ones. Monthly challenges were fun until they replaced them with weekly challenges, which often repeat and give you the same thing constantly, as well as giving the team a bigger workload. I mean, what the fuck were even the point of these? People want a Christmas event to actually release on Christmas? Well, I was thinking more February. So what happened to the JToH staff team? Time happened. Okay, I'll explain. JToH's been on a downward spiral for quite a while now. Started when the devs couldn't get events out and canceled them due to time constraints, as well as overall motivation and the passion of the staff team declining, and this year just being the breaking point. Ever wonder why everyone in this team just feels like they don't care anymore? It's because they don't. Snap out of it. I mean, most of these guys are now adults with responsibilities. So they actually did it. They made a new request for builders, meaning the end of 2 years without any new people. Now obviously this won't fix the game instantly, but it's a really great step and I hope the best for them. But fuck it, I can still complain. Talk 4 issues I have with the direction with JToH and how to fix them. Also, I'm not a game developer and I'm pretty stupid too, so some of these are probably just bad ideas. But you know, at least I tried. Number 1 is obvious, early game is a piece of shit. A lot of the people in the JToH community think the whole Roblox player base is too dumb to ever be invested into a game like JToH because of its harsh skill dependent gameplay. And they are right. But then I saw this video and the guy was just tearing into this game, calling it boring, saying the towers were unbalanced and the game looks like shit, and it made me realize, wait, maybe this game isn't popular because it just sucks. Okay, obviously that's not the full picture. It's a lot more nuanced and JToH will never get big given its core gameplay. But for someone looking for a tough game that tests their abilities, the early areas of this game do not paint a picture of a fair game. I mean, think of the first time you played Tower of Hell, and think of how many times you just fell to some dumb unindicated crap that was impossible to sight read. And this is why this game needs a complete makeover. Oh, but Purgatorio, or Ring Zero, I don't know what it's called, will solve the beginner problem. No, it won't. The required towers in Ring Zero to get past it and move on to Ring 1 will take a beginner, what, 30 minutes? After those 30 minutes, they'll just go to the actual rings, see what this game is like, and quit. Like, you think these guys are actually gonna stick around to play Overcoming Hatred, or Madness, or Funny Thoughts? Like I said, this game needs a revamp, lots of them, especially since most of the towers are so old that the creators won't care if they revamp them. They're probably living an actual life past some hobby they made half a decade ago, and if they don't like what you do to their tower, talk to them and come to some compromise. But what about the people who want to replay the classics? Oh, you can replay Ring 1 in the past events area, and I assume any tower revamped, if the devs took this way, would be put into some time lost plane area, unless the creator didn't want it to be there. It's so simple, and the fact that Rings 1 to 6 have received almost no revamps over the years is insane. 2. The curator system is a mess. Like, we really need more curators. Let me explain. Pretty much, I think the problem is the same curators have been dictating the towers in-game for too long. And hey, you know, they're good curators, they make good comments, but the game in consequence is not evolving, considering these people's standards won't change that drastically over time. I mean, look at much of Zone 6, many of these towers can fit perfectly in new areas, nothing is changing over the years. And this is why people like me are sick of the modern formula, it's all the same. I think new curators would add much to the game, giving a unique perspective on tower design. Also, please stop using NoClip for reviewing. I don't know if you guys still do this for towers under Insane, but if you do, stop. 3. Be transparent. Hey JToH devs, what took so long to release events? Yeah, they don't really say shit to the community when it comes to delays or drama. They just expect everything to blow over, I guess. And when they do, it's usually something like this. Array has been demoted for reasons we won't explicitly say. Wait, what? Why? I get this was in 2021, but they really haven't improved, like how they handled the Punk Joe situation, where they just banned him, removed TOI, I'm not even gonna try and say that name, and TOITI, and let the community figure it out, which they did. Also, I want to add that while searching for screenshots, I found out that on the same day Punky was exposed, they also released the next set of puzzles. Hey guys, one of our biggest YouTubers and a massive contributor to the game is a groomer. By the way, here's some new puzzles. Now, I'm not gonna interpret this as malicious. I think they just don't want to start drama, but this approach doesn't work. Not only is it extremely irresponsible to not tell a community full of kids that a popular JToH member is a pedo, but it's also just dumb. Like, what do you guys expect to happen? Now, again, I don't think this is malicious, but I really hope this sets a new precedent to be more upfront about stuff like this, and I hope the staff deals with situations like this in a more mature way next time. Number 4, bring back suggestions and difficulty polls. You guys remove those because of a small minority being idiots towards them? It's a Roblox game. It's for children. Why is the entire community punished because God forbid children be immature? Also, let's get a little controversial, alright? Just a little bit. No crazy political takes, just I want to talk about bans because of discrimination and how I find them really dumb. Some guy in my comment section said he got permanently banned because he said they should remove the Pride shop. This could have been just some offhand joke and he got perma-banned for it. Obviously he could lie about this, but knowing the JToH staff, I believe it. Now, I'm not gonna get too deep into it, mostly because I don't have a lot of screenshot proof, as well as in general, I want to keep a video like this apolitical, but pretty much JToH has a massive left-wing bias, and it's very obvious. For example, my main man, Monado761. Sorry for leaving you out of my JToH YouTuber video. The problem is, you kinda have no videos. Anyways though, the most based person in the JToH community got banned because, just think for a second, transphobia, which was off platform. Come on guys. I hate to be the defense team of Monado, but stuff like this really isn't ban worthy. It's not inside the game, nor is it really serious. If he groomed a minor or did some other illegal shit, I would understand the ban, but he didn't. He just said his opinion on trans people. And the reason I want to bring this up is because I just see this whole thing as a really bad precedent for the future. People will point out the other 40 things Monado did, but it's not really about him. The reason I'm talking about this is I don't want the line before you get banned to become smaller and smaller. You know, recently Wills, I have no clue how to say that name, but basically he got outed because of his Twitter revealing that he is a conservative, the horror. And I was just wondering if that would be enough to get him banned. And honestly, it actually might. Basically what I'm saying is relax with the banning of people based on off-platform shit. People can think how they want. They don't need to follow the beliefs of the community exactly. Also, I think the whole discrimination banning needs to be halted. I mean, I hate to be that guy, but like, who cares? Block them or close the chat. Just let Roblox handle it. I don't know, is that crazy opinion? I feel like it's just using up resources and stuff that doesn't matter. Anyways, transition to the next point. Okay, so before I start ranting, I don't hate the JToH community. In fact, I kinda like it. I like the comments you guys leave. I like talking to random people inside the game. And in general, the amount of respect I've gotten in the last few months from people in the YouTube community has been an insane boost on my ego. Like if I start making some pseudo-intellectual bullshit videos, you know why. So I don't despise the JToH community, it's mostly the Discord. I'm not gonna talk too much about the community. Come on, you know it's bad. I'm biased because the average person in the Discord is my least favorite type of person to interact with, but still. A lot of the JToH Discord regulars have very fragile egos, and will look themselves up on the Discord to see what people say about them to get mad or something, as well as constantly getting into pay and shitty arguments because they're always right. And these are not just random people, I see builders doing this, like one in particular who is really bad. Not gonna name them, obviously, because I don't want them to be harassed, but they used to search their tower name and respond to just completely random fucking people, correcting their criticism. I mean, is that not just insane? Best advice for new players is to avoid any obby Discord. Seriously, don't interact with these people. You never know who's behind the profile picture. Sorry to interrupt, but I also want to briefly touch on the recent false allegation wave. So Kronku and Index basically got exposed for being pedos, but it turned out to be false. For Kronku, a lot of it was over-exaggerated, and in general the pedophilic age gap is really small. Like, how is this bad? They're not even 2 years apart. And Index's little situation was pretty much a toxic relationship that was also for some reason presented as the victim was 14 years old instead of their actual age, 15, which considering Index is 17 is another 2-year age gap, so it doesn't matter. Anyways, the point of me bringing this whole thing up is 1, I want to tell some of you who don't keep up with this stuff that these two aren't groomers, and 2, I really want to talk about the coverage, mainly from, another intervention. This is like editing Inception. I don't even know what this shit has become. Pretty much, I gained sentience, and I realized I probably shouldn't put JToH Made Easy on blast for a mistake. I confronted him instead on his bad coverage of the false allegations, and he understands, so instead of that, we're gonna talk about the same thing, except more general. Most of the JToH community is young, so I'll just say that in situations like the Kronku and the Index one, the best thing to do is just to wait for both sides to respond before being dead set on who's right and who's wrong. Especially nowadays, a lot of people lie about really serious stuff just to make the other person look bad. No matter how petty it may seem, some people will still go out of their way to ruin someone because they don't like them. Like in the Kronku situation. Basically, just be skeptical and wait for both sides to respond. Also, I have nothing to transition into the last point of this video, so... Sorry if my photography is mediocre, this is my first time doing this shit. I've been playing this game for a while now, since 2018 on and off for the past 4 years, until recently where it took almost no breaks. I was obsessed, which in retrospect feels more like an addiction. Then something switched in my brain and no other tower could do it than strategic mechanics. I remember in 9th grade I was grinding out TOSM like usual, and at one point, probably after another side B fail, wasting another half an hour of my life, I just wondered, why am I still doing this? I hated the tower, I had YouTube in the background to distract me from the crushing boredom, the color scheme looked like shit, there was no atmosphere, and then it just kinda clicked. JToH isn't fun at all. Really, late game is just soulless. You play bad towers that have horrible bouncing and bad gameplay. That's all you get. More time lost and more frustration for what? Some cosmetics and the achievement of it all. For your hard work, you get sentenced in your honor that no one cares about. As well as the brutal unfairness of it all. Like the dude said earlier, falling never feels like a learning opportunity. It's just punishing you for a mistake you made after 30 straight minutes of gameplay. That's JToH. A lot of me writing this was just wondering what the hell drew me into this game for so long. Well, I wanted to beat hard towers like everyone, but the more meaningful answer was I just found comfort in the lack of change. I was uncomfortable trying new shit out, even if that meant wasting hours of my day on ROBLOX game instead of going outside or hanging out with my friends. I'm still not perfect, alright? I still sometimes doom scroll on Instagram or Twitter, and hell, I'm probably having a fucking aneurysm trying to edit this video, but I want to at least try new stuff. Recently, I've just not been enjoying making JToH content. It's just become a chore. I know I said I was gonna make a ranking of insane towers in JToH, but trying to write anything just left me stumped. My passion for this game has transformed more into resentment. That's why I want to make content on different games or anything I like now. I know it's career suicide to abandon the game I got all my subscribers from,
but it's a much better alternative than wasting my time on shitty content I don't like making.
Am I overthinking quitting a game made for Tylers? Probably, but either way, I'm done with JToH.